everybody. It is the finale for our client transformation series. Carolyn, are you on? Are you ready to go? We are so excited. And I know the big question is, did we succeed at everything that we wanted to do? So before we get into that, we are going to go back to the beginning, because I think looking back at the beginning, where we were and how far we have come, is so important to the transformation process. So Carolyn, you feeling pretty good about everything?
I am. I'm
Yeah,
overjoyed.
I'm very excited about tonight, and I'm so excited that her supporters are here and ready to jump into this with her. I'm just looking forward to her future overall. So let's get into it. We're going back to the beginning, sharing her story. So let's do it.
I knew that something was wrong with me because I was angry all the time. Fear has been a big part of my life. I always excelled in things that I knew I was going to excel in. Losing siblings at a very young age. Um, I'm the oldest of a total of six. Three are deceased. So I was in charge of watching my siblings. One sibling died of brain cancer um, 2 years after she was born. Two siblings at once, at the same time, died in a house fire. My mother had me when she was 16 years old. So at that point, she was going through her own trauma, but I didn't know it. That trauma left me with wondering, why was I saved? Fast forward, being molested still around that time, also being molested by a grown man. And then fast forward to when I was 17, I was raped. After that, as the Lord told me, I had been living a life of Russian roulette. I never turned to drugs. I never did alcohol, drunk alcohol, but my choice of drugs was men. In and out of relationships, looking for love in all the wrong places. When a girl has been violated, she eventually equates love with sex. And those are two different things. I want to share my story with the people because, first of all, it's time. I can no longer hide behind the fear and the shame. It's time also because I know that I have been healed and delivered from the things that has happened to me. When you are living in shame and living in fear, it causes you to resist change, and it keeps you in a fixed mindset. And now that I have been delivered out of that, the growth mindset forces me to move forward. So I believe that we all have a purpose, but it's shameful when you know you have a purpose and you haven't sought out the purpose. I have sought out my purpose. This is part of the plan. And I'm just embracing the plan and walking therein.
So Carolyn, looking back 6 weeks ago at the very beginning, did you believe that you would be sitting here today where you are now?
Part of me, no. And I think that was the little scared part in me. But the other part was hoping to get through it. I think I was looking more at the book, and I knew what it meant, that I had to dig deep and remember the horrible things that happened.
But you did it. And so I want to go back once again. I want to look at her profile, and I want to talk about what it is that she wanted to do, because it's so important that we look back at these types of things because it tells us how far we have come. Carolyn was the child of a single teen mom. She faced stability. She had constant anxiety. She was dealing with grief, trauma. She became a single mom and she was dealing with overwhelm. Her desire was to write and publish a book, scale her business, become a community change agent, and cause global transformation. When we heard her plans, we said that we would help her write and publish a book, set up her professional website, transform her social media pages, as well as develop her coaching packages, create a course, and craft a signature talk. And we said we would do it all in 6 weeks. So the big question is, did we succeed? And I am excited to say Carolyn now has a total package, and we are going to share that total package with you in just a second. But Carolyn, before we do that, how do you feel about the package that you received?
The package that I initially, we started out, I was overjoyed by that one, just knowing that the things that I was praying for would happen. But midstream, or even a little bit further down the road than midstream, a total change did truly happen. That one just blew my mind. The wow factor is definitely what has hit me.
So let's share with the people what it is that you receive. I'm going back to my screen. So the first thing that we worked on was she wanted to write and publish her book. And as many of you all already know who were a part of the beta reading, which we greatly appreciate you being a part of that, she did in fact finish writing a book, and it is currently on Amazon for pre-sales. So you can buy the ebook during the pre-sales time frame right now if you go on Amazon. So if you put in her name, you put in her title, you will have access to the book. Our official release date is later on, but the book, she finished writing that book, and we are prophesying bestseller for this book. Also, she will have a paperback edition. She is going to personally sign those paperbacks, and we are going to send them out to everyone who is interested in having one. So we'll let you know the link to go to so that you can sign up for that. We'll send that through you to you via email, and she is going to personally sign those copies for you, and then we will send them on out to you. The next thing that she wanted was, we were talking about the professional website, and did we do it? And so I think this is the one of the most exciting parts, because like Carolyn said, midstream or a little bit past midstream, there was a change. But if you were initially a part of what we were doing, Carolyn did not even have a website for the business that she already had set up. And she had other businesses in mind that she wanted to open up as well. What we did was bring everything under one roof. And I am excited to be able to share her website for all to see. Now, with the business name change, because we are still in the process, the paperwork still has to be processed. So we went ahead and built the site. And when the paperwork is finished processing, we're going to upload this entire finished website to her new domain name. So if you didn't know that you can do that, you can build out a website and then you can import it, and she will have access to it, and then she'll be able to maintain it herself. So here we go. We're sharing her website with the public for the first time. Carolyn, how are you feeling about it? I know people seen your book cover, but nobody's seen your website yet. You're the only one. How are you feeling about it?
I love it. When you sent it to me earlier today, I couldn't even see it through the tears. I was just crying so much because I loved it.
So here we go, everyone. Here is Carolyn's new website. And I'm going to briefly go through and share what we actually placed on her website. At the very top is her logo, the name of the new business as soon as we finish the business name change. It also states what her pillars are: empathy, education, and empowerment. And she wants to transform your mind so that you shift to hope. We start right off with what the organization is about and how it wishes to serve people. There was a question about whether it should be for-profit and nonprofit, and I said, Carolyn, you're going to do this in conjunction with nonprofits, but you will remain a for-profit organization. Also, it provides a site overview, and it also gives a very strong message about we can help you. Don't hesitate. You are no longer alone. You have someone who understands. And one of the other things we did, she had some testimonials about her work. And so we shared those testimonials on her website as well. And you all will have an opportunity to go visit this site after the show. But we put together her phases program and laid out an explanation as far as what people should expect. Also, we made sure to tell people that they can receive a free consultation, and then just shared a little history so that we could honor the work that she had done previously. On our third page of the website, we share a bio about her. We also obviously share the book because we want people to know that she is an author. And then we share some of the ideology that she has. She wants measured and improved impact. She wants to empower individuals, and she wants continuous learning and development. And then we listed her speaking topics, which one of the things that she's going to do is go out and speak more. So those are some of the speaking topics that she will be speaking on. One of the biggest things that she's going to do is she is going to provide resource sheets. Later on, there will be clickable links on each of these states, but these states are going to show where people can find food, shelter, and security, where they can connect with licensed professional counselors, and also find business resources. All of these things were very important to Carolyn. And then we have a blog. And then also, and finally, we have an event section that is going to tell everyone where she is speaking at, but also about the events that are important to her. Carolyn, I mean, you're doing a lot for the people, a lot.
Yes.
I'm excited to see how all the resources come together, because I think that is going to be so valuable to so many people. And people may be wondering, how is she going to make money? One of the things we came up with was a plan. So her plan is to seek a professional counselor in every state who is going to be listed as an advertisement on her site. And that is going to help her generate funds for her business. So, Carol, I mean, like you said, you had tears when you looked at everything, and it was like you were telling me that it was more than what you expected.
Way more.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking beforehand versus what you actually received?
Well, like I said earlier, I was just concentrating on what we initially talked about, getting in touch with me, those things. And I was just overwhelmed and overjoyed by those things. For some reason, I started talking about the other businesses. And that's when you was like, tell me more. And I began to tell you more. And somehow in that magnificent brain of yours, you was like, well, you can have that all under one roof. And I'm like, how is this? Because I only saw it in, individual businesses. And when you laid it out, I was like, this is way bigger than I even imagined. And but I thought about the scripture that the Lord, He blesses, I'm just paraphrasing it, way beyond what we think or ask. This is huge, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, how you're going to touch people's lives is huge.
I remember when we first started, I heard the Lord say deep impact, and I'm like, okay, God. But I kept telling the Lord, this is your business. So you just tell me how to do it and what to do. And this is way beyond what I could even imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm excited. I know you said times before you felt like I was more excited than you, but I love to see the visions come together and seeing people able to truly walk into their dreams. So, and I'm excited to see how people's lives will be affected because you're walking in your purpose. It's so important that everyone walks in their purpose because you just never know how you'll change someone else's life. And our next goal was to be able to transform her social media accounts. Now, Carolyn was already doing a great job being active on social media. She was following a social media calendar. But I was talking with her and I said, because your focus is now shift, and we really want to focus in even more on your business, we came up with a plan for her social media accounts. And so her social media plan is, like I said, it's based around her business. So the phases, which is real part of her coaching program overall, we focus on 3 areas. She's focusing on personal stability, she's focusing on mindset stability, and she's focusing on financial stability. So as I share the social media plans, just know that these refer to each of those different sections or phases within her business. So 1, we're asking her to create posts for Financial Fridays. Number 2, we're asking her to create posts for what we're calling Serene Saturdays. Those are resources that people can take advantage of, whether they need food security, shelter. And so she'll share those types of things on Saturdays with individuals. Spirituality is really important to Carolyn. So we also created Serene Sundays because under that first phase, we talk about spirituality, and she wants to connect people to churches or other organizations who can provide that spiritual counseling that people will need. 4, Mindset Mondays. This is the really big one for her since she is now the Mind Shift Coach. And she will be providing motivation as well as tips on how to deal with certain aspects of life. For example, I love this printout that we will be sharing with you later, which is how do you get through a bad day? And so she'll share those types of tips with us, the audience as a whole, so that you are experiencing hope and not hopelessness. And then we asked her, instead of, she was posting every day, various posts, and we think that is great, but we really want her to start focusing in more on her business. So we asked for number 5, we're asking her to write, design, and schedule her posts on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But that doesn't mean there won't be a post Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays. Instead, we asked her to recap and highlight on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Sometimes when we are providing a bunch of different posts, we're moving so fast to the new one that we don't re-emphasize what we already have. And that's what we really want her to do. And the number 6 slot is re-emphasize what she has shared with people. Also, maybe highlight some of the comments that people are making. Make people feel good. Let them know that you are paying attention to what it is that they're saying. And that way her whole week will be filled out with various social media posts. And another aspect of her social media plan is for her to have a single social media handle. So when the name change is official with the government, she will have one social media handle for all her social media accounts. That's going to be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other places. But she's not going to do this alone. We are going to assist her with designer posts and provide a 90-day plan to further assist her in her journey. Carolyn, what are your thoughts about your social media plan?
I like it. I like it. So to switch, because what I was originally doing was brand awareness. I knew that that's very important when, especially when you are a new business, because I learned that people have to trust you before they patronize you. Um, and then there are so many others out there that's in competition. So I learned through my research that um, consistency uh, brings curiosity. So the more I posted, the more people began to look for it. And I dared one weekend not to post my 1 minute devotion, and one of the coaches just tore me apart because she was looking for. I was like, okay, people are really looking for these 1 minute devotions. So now it's 7 days a week.
Yeah, and one of the key aspects of branding is making sure we put your logo on everything that you put out there. So, like I said, when the name change is official, we have the official logo. That logo is going to go on every post that she sends out. So no matter what the post says, they're going to know that that's Carolyn's business that's putting it out there. Very important aspect, no matter what your entity is, if it's a church, a nonprofit, a school, whatever it may be, make sure you're putting your logo on everything. And then when people share what you have shared, they will see that logo and know, oh, that's their business right there. So very, very important. I'm really excited. We will have those on the post that we create for her to use, and she'll be free to use those wherever she desires. All right, we're getting close. So we shared the social media plan. We know she has a book for sale on Amazon right now. She has the professional website. Then the question was, could we develop a coaching package? And for this, I am going to go back to the website because it is different, but it's also the same. So we created these phases for Carolyn because Carolyn wanted to provide these nonprofit-like services for people, but at the same time, be able to have income that could sustain her business. In honor of her various businesses, we named those the phases after those previous businesses. So phase one, we have serene wholeness. And in serene wholeness, you will find that personal needs and goals will be assessed. Then it will be determined if they need family services, community service, or community assignment. And there will be a suggested path for them. And I told Carolyn, realistically, sometimes people will come to you for their physical needs, get help, and then the numbers will start dwindling down. But that's okay, because for those who are ready for it, we have phase two. And so this is about creating that mindset stability. If you've gone through a hardship or you're traumatized, you need people who are able to support you. Carolyn will have some free classes and workshops available for people, but she's also going to have community group classes, and it will be a part of our overall coaching program, but within a group setting. We were talking about it's going to be a 1-year program. It'll be a low-cost program for those people who may not be able to afford the higher ticket coaching with the mindset stability. She's also going to provide the listening sessions, and that's going to be on a sliding scale. And then, of course, her high ticket offer is the coaching. She has 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months of coaching, where she's going to take people through her entire program. And for those people who need a little bit more than coaching, she is going to refer them to a licensed professional. And that is why we have that list on her website, so that people, depending on what state they're in, even though she's located in Tennessee, there may be some people who may contact her outside of Tennessee. And by law, you do have to speak to professionals that are within your state. So that is very important. And she will be making referrals to those licensed professionals for people who need more than coaching. Then we get to well done, which is phase three. And this is so exciting because once people's personal needs are met and then their mind is right, it is time to make sure they are financially stable where they want to be. Some people may just want job assistance. Some people may want to start a business like what Carolyn did. And then some people need help maintaining their businesses. The idea is to continue that stability at no matter what juncture they are at. So these are Carolyn's phases, and the coaching program is within the phases themselves. Carolyn, I know we went through a lot to pull all that together. What are your thoughts on that?
Mind blowing, totally mind blowing.
Yeah, I told you I'm excited because people are really going to receive the full package of help that they need. If they're ready for it, they will receive it through your business and programs. But we're not done yet. We got a little bit more. One of the other things that Carolyn wanted to do was to be able to create courses. And this way that even if people can't come to her coaching program or they're in another state, they will have the opportunity to still learn what it is that she is providing. And so our way of assisting her with that is we actually have set up some tentative workshops for her, and we're inviting people to those workshops. We will record those workshops, and then after those workshops, we will edit those and turn them into what is called evergreen courses so that people can come take those classes at any time that works for them. So we turn those into workshops again, and we're going to edit them so that they can be evergreen courses. Carolyn, when we were talking about the courses before, we went through all of this whole list about what you could do, introductions, and we're still going to continue working on some things. But what did you think about the idea of turning recorded workshops into classes that you can utilize in evergreen?
I loved it because it keeps me from having to sit down and stare at a computer and talk.
She didn't want to have to go through the recording process. But you know what? And that can be hard where you're just looking at the screen and you're recording yourself, but having the life behind you, that's what I say, the life, because you're interacting with other people and you get real-time reactions to people that your other customers or clients can relate to. So I love the idea of doing pre-recorded workshops and then turning them into courses, what people call evergreen courses, because they'll never get old. But we still are not finished. We're almost there. There was something else that Carolyn wanted, and we're getting ready to go there. Having a book is wonderful. At some point, she is going to have to stand in front of people and tell her story. And our goal is to get her on the big stage where she's before tens of thousands of people. And for that, you need to craft a signature talk. And I am happy to say that that has been completed. I'm excited, and I want everybody to get ready for it. We are introducing Carolyn Murphy, the mindset coach, author of God, Why Did You Save Me?, founder and CEO of Firm Foundations Community Outreach. She is now here to present her signature talk.
Good evening again. Cold. That is how it always felt, no matter the season, winter, summer, spring, or fall. Coldness laid over our house like thick ice. This is how I started the introduction to my book, God, Why Did You Save Me? My name is Carolyn Murphy, and if you met me on the street, you would have met a smiling, bubbly, and ready to lend a helping hand to anyone that needed it. You would not see my background. And I have found that I have experienced the things that could have happened to anyone, no matter their race, religious preference, or socioeconomic background. You would not see that although I was a very smart, popular, high achieving high school student who graduated as valedictorian and started college, that I was molested, raped, and lost younger siblings at an early age. You would not see the girl who struggled to deal with her trauma inadequately, ultimately making mistakes that led to cycle after cycle of downfall. Honestly, if I were to take a survey today, all of you would have a story of trauma to tell or share, but it is not about trauma, the hardship, or the struggle that you went through. Yes, it is important. We dare not minimize because our struggles, hardships, and trauma shape who we become consciously and unconsciously. But it is like the question my book poses: God, why did you save me? We can easily look around the world and see tragedy. The same thing that happens to you or someone you know happens to someone else, and their life ends or changes forever. God, why did you save me? Two people are in a car driving down the highway. Suddenly, an accident occurs. One dies and the other survives. God, why did you save me? Two people are diagnosed with cancer. They both have the same type of cancer, the same recommended treatment plan, and the same expected result. One completes chemotherapy and rings the bell. The other's family is preparing to bury them. God, why did you save me? Two women are overjoyed as they prepare to give birth to their first child. They both hear the gentle thump of the child's heartbeat. But when it is time to go home days later, one mother is wheeled out, smiling with a bundle of joy in her hands, while the other mother and her husband go home to a baby room they may never use. God, why did you save me? I could speak forever about these types of situations, but at some point, you need to answer the question. I needed to answer the question: God, why did you save me? When I was 6 years old, my mom took me to Wisconsin. While there, we lived with my cousin and her husband. One night, my mom was gone and he came in. He attempted to rape me, but he could not fit. I still remember that distant glow of the TV screen. I remember feeling his hot breath on my face and neck. While he was with me, my mom came home. He said, "If you tell your mom, I will kill her." With that one phrase, he silenced me, and he silenced me for years. Not only did I keep that secret, but I kept many others throughout the years. God, why did you save me? When I was 8 years old, my mom was out for a night and our house caught on fire. The little heater was too close to the bed. That night, I lost two more of my younger siblings to that fire. I still remember the dry blood on the wooden boxes. God, why didn't you take me? I had previously lost another younger sibling a few years before that to brain cancer. One day I had a playmate, and the next day I didn't. God, Why did you save me? These situations taught me to hold too tightly to those that I loved, causing me to submit myself to abusive relationships years later. When I was 17, I walked home with a new classmate. I was supposed to go to my house first, but he asked me to go to his apartment first to drop off books. When we arrived at his apartment, he raped me. I decided to speak up, and when I did, my mom said I shouldn't have been there anyway. The police said there was no way to prove it. It would be his word against mine. I did not know about the rape kits then. I said, forget it. This situation taught me to continue depending on myself, fueling perfectionism and workaholism. My plan was to pull myself out of the pit, but that didn't work out as I hoped. Anger and pain constantly invaded my thoughts. God, why did you save me? So I had to answer the question, why would God save me? Why would he save someone who was seemingly unloved, constantly abused, and unwanted? Why would he save someone who was angry, did not have the skills to cope, and create cycle after cycle after cycle of bad decisions that not only affected her life, but also the life of her children? He saved me so I can tell people you have a voice and there is someone listening. The only limits you have are the limits you place on yourself. He saved me because although bad situations happen in life, your life does not end. You have an opportunity to reshape it into something more beautiful. He saved me to tell you that you are enough. You are not an accident. You have a purpose. You do not have to accept what people have said about you. You determine who you are. He saved me because I am actively building a community and business for those who have faced trauma and are ready to come out on the other side victorious. These are only some of the reasons why God saved me. Now you must answer the question of why God saved you. Some of your reasons may be like mine, some may not be, but regardless, give voice to your truth. The truth is that you are still here for a reason. The truth is that family member is still here for a reason. The truth is that friend is still here for a reason. Answer the question, God, why did you save me? If you reflect and do not know why, connect with me and I am more than willing to help you discover that why. As I close today, you heard me mention my mom multiple times throughout my stories. Growing up with a mom who was inadequately dealing with her childhood trauma and multiple losses was hard. At the end of my book, I speak about how I made amends with my mom. I remember asking her, Mom, why didn't you love me? She looked at me and said, Carolyn, it wasn't that I didn't love you. I saw too much of myself in you. She didn't want me to be like her or have the same experiences. Despite her desires, those life circumstances happened anyway. We cannot control life, but we can control whether we stand still and fulfill our purpose, sharing with people the wins we learned from life's harshest circumstances. God, why did you save us? He saved us so we can save someone else. Thank you for your time and attention. Blessings to each of you. God save you for a reason.
Carolyn, having walked some of this journey with you certainly brings a lot to mind. The pluses, so what I saw, what I didn't see, and what I felt as your high school principal, then later, would just continue to, it's really hard to believe that we've kept up all these years, but thank you so much for sharing. The power of resilience is amazing. Even though you may have seen it as, the crooked pathway of the journey or whatever, but God's purpose is his purpose. And you have always had something within you that you've continued to, just fight against, that you're not gonna let it consume you. You may not have even known, what's that old saying? We're on the sea and we were walking along in God, there were two of us. And so God was carrying you and everything. So I certainly appreciate, and I know that the wider audience will appreciate authenticity, and that's it. We see that, we know it's not fake. And so even though there are tears of maybe joy and uncertainty and just having to relive that, it still just reminds me of all the things that you went through, that you still persisted, whether it was something that was just the curtain in your face and hiding behind it. But even within that, when someone is able to still make outstanding grades, making A's in calculus, just still was able to do that, is a story within itself. But like we seen one in our church, you don't know my story, okay? And people think that they do, but they really don't. But there was a reason why we connected. There's a reason why we were so close. And maybe I didn't know as a young principal, I don't even know if I knew what I was doing. And so I hope it was okay and everything. So thank you so much for sharing, those personal notes with us and with those out in this world who can certainly benefit from that.
I'll say this, that there's purpose in our suffering. There's purpose in whatever it is that we face. I'll say this to you, that I'm very, very proud of you. I am just in awe of everything that you've been through, everything that you've endured. I think we met, 15 years ago, maybe a little 15, 16, almost 20 years ago. And you never have allowed what you've endured or what you have had to go through change your sincerity, your love, your desire to see others prosper, to even support them. I know many times if no one ever asks you what it is you're going through or what you need, they never know, because you still smile, and you are always there to love on someone and encourage them. So I'm thankful for being a part of your journey. I'm thankful to be here to support you, and I'll do that in any manner or any way that I have to. Whatever I can do, I'm going to do. I know that you always used to say with great expectancy. So whatever it is you're doing with great expectancy. So I know that this is just the beginning of great things to come for you, because you truly deserve it. And why did God save you? I'm so glad he did. I'm so thankful he did. I'm so I just give him praise on tonight that he has not only saved you, but kept you for such a time as he will continue to prosper you. You will make a difference in others because you're just there to listen and to support and not judge and to encourage. And, you know, a lot of times in this journey, many aren't approachable, but you have such a sincere heart and you want God's people to prosper. So again, I applaud you. I'm very proud of you. I love you dearly. And I know that this is just the beginning of greater things to come. So may God continue to bless you and keep you. And I'm looking forward. Like I always say, save your fork. Hallelujah. Because what we're going to feast on in the future is greater than the now. So God bless you.
Thank you. Amen.
Hi, I am the baby sister to Carolyn, and I was gonna share this with her after this meeting, like I have previous weeks, but I feel led to share. So I'm a benefactor of her going into get help for that house fire. That house fire took place almost 43 years ago. I'm here because of her sacrifice. And her wanting to make sure that we made it out. And I hear God saying he is not wasteful. The God that we serve is not wasteful. There is purpose in our pain. He called us to be salt because salt is a preservative. He calls us to be light because light illuminates in darkness. And so you sharing your testimony is going to shed light on somebody else who does not have a voice, who could not speak up, just like you could, and the other little girl that didn't have a you. But I'm grateful to God that I had you all of my life to make sacrifices that nobody knows about. But you've always been a big dreamer. I believe God allowed you to dream big because he has so much bigger for you. So if you can dream it, just multiply it times infinity because that's what God has for you. I appreciate God and all that he is doing and all that he has done in your life. Greater. Not that it's coming, it's already here. I love you.
I love you. I love you more.
Hello, everyone. I am the youngest son of Carolyn Murphy. This is probably my third, maybe fourth time on here. I haven't been able to be a part of the full journey like I really wanted to. And my mom, of course, my mom knows why. But though I have been here through the entire journey, I am truly, truly proud of my mom for the growth that she has had over the 25 years that I have been on this earth, especially over the past few years. She has truly, truly been grounded in God, and her relationship with God has shed light on a lot of things over the years. My mom and I have been through a lot over the years, and I'm just grateful that she stuck by me. We stuck together through it all. I'm grateful to my mom that she didn't let her circumstances impact the way she raised my brother and I. She kept my brother and I in church. We were rooted and grounded in church. Church was our safe haven. And I'm just truly grateful to my mom that she, through all of her circumstances, through all of her trauma, that she looked beyond all of her hurt and she vowed to God that she was not going to keep that cycle going. She vowed that she was going to make a difference in our life, and she truly has. So I just want to say thank you, Mom, on behalf of my brother and I. We truly, truly thank you, because if it was not for you, if it was not for God, if it was not for our immediate family that kept by us, who knows where we would be. We want to thank you to, everyone that helped you along the way with raising us, because growing up we know it wasn't easy being a single parent, especially with the father that I had. I know it wasn't easy. So you having that support system around you, helping you with raising us, that also played an impact on us. And so we just truly, truly thank you for not letting, again, your circumstances, your trauma, your hurt play a part in raising us.
Carol, you know I love you to life and beyond. And I have not known you as long as the others on this panel, but I truly value and am truly honored to have known you for the length of time that I have. I love you to life and beyond, and I am utterly, utterly so proud of you. I really am, and I'm truly honored to be a part of this, your journey. Your question on your book, God, and I say it like this, God, why me? I love that question. I really do. And the reason why is because for too long, and I'm 54 years old, and I've heard probably for 50 years, don't question God. You don't question God. Don't ask God. And you know, and just by people saying that, it really led me to God's word where he says, study to show thyself approved. Okay, that's the relationship you all have with God. My Father, my God said I can come to him for anything, and I can ask him anything. And so your book, just that title alone, okay, is powerful. I told you the cover was enough for me. I didn't even have to see the words. That was enough for me. To me, your cover gave a voice to the little girl inside of me who always felt unheard, who always felt invisible, who always felt her thoughts, her views, none of that mattered. Okay, why me? Because God seems to give his toughest lessons to his strongest soldiers. This journey that you're on, where you've come from, I often tell people, you know, we don't look like what we've been through. All right. And so when I hear people say, you know, I wish I want to be like that because I used to do it. Oh, I want to have peace like that, you know, like that person. And again, life will teach you some things. You don't know the cost of my praise. Okay. And Carolyn, you look nothing remotely close to what you've been through at all. And I'm going to tell you my most proudest moment, because I just never negate the small things. But when you became emotional while giving this speech, then it became even more real for me. Okay, for me, because then I felt it even more so. All right. And I say it all the time, and I say it to you all the time. Okay. If you don't believe it, we're not going to believe it. When your emotions came to the forefront, not only did we believe it even more so, but we felt it. I felt it. Okay. And because of you, the little girl inside of me, I give her permission to grow up. And I even forgive her for holding the woman in me back for so long. So I thank you. I thank you for this book. I thank you for sharing your speech. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this journey with you. And I thank you for even the blessings that God has for you that hasn't even manifested yet, the ones that he's preparing for you. Okay. Thank you. I love you, and continue what you're doing because you are blessed and you're using your blessings in the right way. We are blessed to be blessings to other people. Thank you for being the voices for those who don't have one. And I appreciate you. Love you, sis.
Thank you. Love you more.
Carolyn, your transformation is complete. It hasn't been an easy journey. We had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. But we said 6 weeks, and you made it. You made it. Tell us how you're feeling at this point with everything that you went through during the process, the 6 weeks.
Overall, excited, overjoyed, exhausted at times. And the exhaustion is having to rehash the things that happen, even though I know I'm healed and delivered from them. But it still hurts to have to rehash it. There was a drawback time, wondering what the family was going to say. But I talked to my sister Mimi, and she was like, "Thank you for considering us." She said, "But that's your story." And I just thank God for the support.
You are here. You have arrived. And I think everybody has expressed itself excited to see what the rest of your journey is going to hold. We thank all of you all for just being a support for her throughout this journey. I know it was difficult because, of course, we were behind the scenes, and sometimes it was like we had to just keep on pushing. Things kept happening that was going wrong. And even last night we were talking, and I said, we're just going to keep on moving forward. It's time for you to get heard.